Chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer, along with Congressman Ronny Jackson and Congressman Byron Donalds. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Congressman Jackson, let me start with you. What did you make of President Biden's comments today? Did that reassure you and the people of Texas and around the country that, hey, he's on top of it?
No, it's absolutely pathetic, Jason. I mean, that kind of weakness portrayed and demonstrated on the national scale or national stage like it was today from the White House by our commander-in-chief and our head of state, it does everything. It makes this place incredibly dangerous. I mean, you can see the dangerous times that we live in right now, but honestly, our enemies watch this. They see this weakness, and we are at great risk for the next 17 days. We need to move on. We need to get this man out of office. He had no business being our president and our commander-in-chief from day one. He's progressively gotten worse, and we would be better off as a nation right now if they would just put him in the basement for the next 17 days and not put him on TV anymore. He does not inspire confidence. It's a dangerous situation, and I think that bad things are on the horizon. I hope that we can get President Trump in place before some of it becomes a reality.
Yeah, getting President Trump there can't happen soon enough. I think our enemies will fear us, and our allies will respect us, and America will be safer. Congressman Donalds, I want to ask you, though, I don't know how you feel about it. I was offended that President Biden gave one of the second highest medal of honor. It's not called the Medal of Honor, but a medal honoring these two congressmen, Congressman Liz Cheney and Benny Thompson. What's your reaction to that?
My reaction is I'm highly offended, but I'm not surprised. Joe Biden and his White House have lived in the bizarro land where no other Americans really exist. That's why the presidency under Joe Biden has been an abject disaster. This is just one of the last pieces of icing on that cake. Look, everybody knows that the fake January 6th committee, the only purpose was to basically put a lot of propaganda out into the information stream to go after and attack Donald Trump. It failed, completely backfired. They suppressed information. They tampered with evidence. There's reports out there that they were actually tampering with witnesses sitting in front of that committee. Something that has frankly never happened in the halls of Congress, happened with this J6 committee. So for them to be rewarded for, frankly, the lack of transparency and honesty they gave to the American people is disgusting, but why are we surprised? This is the presidency of Joe Biden, the very worst presidency in the history of our country.
Chairman Comer, same question to you, because the way that committee acted, the way they excluded Republicans, excluded the Speaker's ability to appoint Republicans to participate in it, the charade that they put it on, the Hollywood dressing that they put on this to try to take down Donald Trump and rely on some information that was just, I just can't believe that President Biden would do this at this time. But what's your reaction to it?
Well, it's a slap in the face to all the good Americans who actually deserve to be recognized for their public service or for their sacrifice or for their community activism. You think about all the first responders that risk their lives every day, all the military frontline soldiers who risk their lives every day, all the people that run charitable organizations and do good things at church. And none of them got recognized by Joe Biden, but he recognized Liz Cheney and Benny Thompson. And I want to remind everyone, touching on what Byron Donalds said, every committee in the history of Congress is appointed by the Speaker and Minority Leader. The majority party appoints their members. The minority party appoints their members. Kevin McCarthy appointed good members to that committee, but Nancy Pelosi rejected them because she knew they would be truthful and they wouldn't go along with the false narrative that the media and the Democrats were trying to create about Donald Trump. So she kicked Jim Jordan and Jim Banks off and put Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger on there, who would just go along with all the fake propaganda that the Democrat National Committee and their friends in the left-wing media were spouting out.
All right, Congressman, we're going to ask all three of you. So we're going to start with Congressman Jackson. He gets to go first again. You're about 15 hours away from a speaker vote. How are you going to vote on that speaker vote? And I mean, by my count, there's like 5 House members who aren't going to vote for Speaker Johnson, and that's going to put you short of coming up with a majority. So foreshadow what's going to happen, and how specifically do you plan to vote, at least on the first round, on Speaker Johnson? Because that's just 15 hours away.
Well, I'm absolutely positively voting for Speaker Mike Johnson. He's done a good job under the circumstances. We need to get this. We need to move the ball right now. President Trump has stepped out and said, let's put Mike back in the speaker's role so we can move on with the Make America Great agenda and what the American people have told us that they want us to do. We have to do that now. There's no time to mess around. It's time to put on our game faces and get it done. And I hope that these people you're talking about, I hope that if they do vote against him, it's just a protest vote. We can get past that. We can come together as a conference, because we will not win, Jason, unless we come together as a team. It's one team, one fight right now. We've got the House, we've got the Senate, and we've got the presidency coming up. We've got to take advantage of this. We may never get another chance.
Congressman Donalds.
Oh, I'm voting for Mike Johnson. I agree with Ronny Jackson. Look, I think this thing's going to be wrapped up pretty quickly. So, everybody's getting excited about tomorrow. I think this thing's going to get wrapped up, and then we move forward.
I hope you're right, because if you don't get the speaker in place, you can't certify the election. If you can't certify the election, you can't instill Donald Trump as the president on January 20th. So I want to see what congressmen stand up and what argument that they make that they're going to go against Trump, and they much rather delay the implementation of, the new presidency. That would be fascinating to me. Congressman Comer, Chairman Comer, where are you at on this?
I'm voting for Mike Johnson. The people in my district sent a message that they want me to support President Trump's agenda. He won by a more than 3-to-1 margin in my congressional district, and that's what I'm going to do. Donald Trump wants Mike Johnson. I'm voting for Mike Johnson, and let's get ready to make America great again. We got a lot of work to do. We've got a big mess to clean up left behind by Joe Biden and the Democrats, and it's time to work with Trump to get things on track again.
Yeah, it is a team sport, folks. And there's one team and there's another team. So if you're not united, your team ain't going to win. So, Congressman, 3 of our best serving in the House of Representatives. Thanks for joining us here.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.